Hey, everybody. Today, we're going to cover a super important topic for your pricing strategy, how we think about events at Beyond. I'll touch on some key components our industry leading algorithm looks at, as well as the strategies our expert revenue managers take into account. Let's start with the obvious. Events are hard. Let's not sugarcoat it. There's some really important components to keep in mind, however. A common pitfall we see a lot in this industry is, for example, generically saying that there is a concert in your area, so prices should increase by 20%. It's just not enough to truly determine the impact on prices. My friend's emo band plays at local bars all the time, but I'm not upping my Airbnb price for him. No offense, Tyler. Whereas when Taylor Swift rolls into town, those Swifties are going to pay and prices should increase. It's really easy to get excited to hear that all events are accounted for in a tool, but pay close attention and make sure whenever you're pricing events, the specifics are clear. Beyond knows that and takes it into account. It's critical that your pricing strategy does too. Let's talk supply for all you economics majors. The Super Bowl this year was in Phoenix, Arizona. I'm personally still in pain from it, but more importantly, so were a lot of folks who have short-term rentals in the area. Supply of short-term rentals in Phoenix rose 109% year over year. Furthermore, the rates people were asking for were up 214% year over year for the same period, but the achieved rates were only at 50%. What does that tell us? People who raised their prices, not taking this into account that supply had actually increased, didn't get booked at all. Beyond looks closely at supply trends, so we can tell when a market for an event is saturated, and you have to price more competitively. Frequency of events plays a role, something a lot of people overlook. You don't want to price one-off events the same way you'd price an annual event. Think of the Olympics versus Arsenal Football Club playing every week. This is often overlooked as just an opportunity to increase prices due to events, but the reality is scarcity matters when pricing stuff. A couple other things to keep in mind. Every event is different, so having extensive data to be able to look at how related events have performed historically is critical. On top of that, analyzing bookings and occupancy trends within your market means more accurate event pricing. Being on top of far out events also lets you maximize your pricing strategy. We pride ourselves on being able to predict not just the near term, but the long term to give you the best possible advantage. Lastly, and maybe most excitedly, using Beyond search-powered pricing to truly predict demand based on people's search behavior allows you to always be one step ahead. What I'm getting at is throwing everything in the pot isn't always the right answer. It'll unnecessarily raise your prices and you'll suffer for it. But it's what we see all the time. The risks are huge for your business when it comes to events. We've got it covered, and now you know how.